call, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. PSR is excited to present to you Last Call, featuring your boy, the pimp slap P.O.D., Mike M.
Pimpin' ain't easy, but it's fun like money. Got bookies on the run, now it's time to get money. Not your typical way to ball. This last call like some convicts waiting on the next draw. You can feel the tension. Did I mention? Fools better pay attention, cause we getting paid like a pension. T's on the ones and twos, we not the ones that lose. Mike Money's killers might even make the evening news.
And now, let's get to the picks.
We be pumping! Buzz Sports Radio, you know we be pumping!
What up? What up? Welcome into Last Call. Here we go. Today we got ourselves a short little slate. It's Thursday, May the 2nd, 6 p.m., Pub Sports Radio, and it's Last Call. You already know what we're going to do up in here. We're going to pick apart this little slate like it owes us money, and then we're going to go out there and we're going to kick these bookies right in the face. Excited to be here with you guys tonight. It's Thursday. That means we have no tea on the ones and twos. I got to try to figure it all out myself, but that's okay because we'll figure it out, and then we'll go out there and we'll get that cash. That's what we do here. We try to help you guys figure out where to put that winning money tonight so that we can all build our bankrolls together. Welcome on in. 3 things we ask you to do here. Smash that thumbs up button. That's first and foremost on any stream that you go on there. Show the respect. Let them know where you're at. Let them know you appreciate the content, the work, the preparation that goes into it, or you're just having a good time going back and forth in the chat. Smash that thumbs up button for us. Of course, grab yourselves a pen and paper. You know there's going to be a lot of plays to write down. Today's smaller card. Doesn't mean we won't have plenty of action and ammunition to go fire away with. So you're going to want to be taking down notes from the show. And, of course, last but not least, throw them plays up in the chat. Let's see what you guys are on as well. A little more difficult today to recognize the chat, but change of order. Change of order today. We're going to start with the NBA because we have that 6:30 game that's going to pop off between the Pacers and the Bucks. I already see a bunch of you guys talking about it in the chat. So much fun to have. Weird slate of action. We've got an 8 p.m. start in the NHL. We've got the 6:30 NBA. Then we've got the Philly Sixers Knicks game going at 9 p.m. Eastern. And, oh, yeah, there's a baseball game wedged in there, too. So going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to go get after it, man. If this evening slate's anything like this afternoon slate, we are going to clean the F up. It's been a smash and grab all day. I was in Jimmy's chat earlier. I told you guys this is a Mets spot. This is a Mets spot, 7-6 out there. The Miami Marlins, be mindful when those totals move from 8s to 7.5s. When you look at those first 5s and they go from 4s to 3.5s, you know those are over spots now. We've talked about it enough. Then we got them Orioles out there. It was definitely the bounce back spot there for that opportunity in the under 9.5, cashed at another plus 340. I hope you guys are looking at those. And of course, last but not least, the San Francisco Giants. It was always the Giants. And we got that cash too. I even snuck in a -1.5 Rangers. And for the kicks of it, I parlayed it all together. Let's go. Let's go. Let's have ourselves a night now. Let's get into it. Let's see what you guys are on in the chat. Then we will drop through. We'll do a recap. We'll bring our guy Miggity Mac in to talk about his action tonight and how he wants to get paid. And then we'll get the bow on the show and get everybody up out of here to enjoy this beautiful Thursday evening here. Getting ready for the big horse shows this weekend, Friday, tomorrow, Jimmy the Bag and Razor Racing live on Razor's Horse Stream. Getting ready for the big Saturday, the Kentucky Derby, and then Pub Sports Radio. We'll be hosting all kinds of things on Saturday. We got the Derby, we got UFC, we got Say Hey Jose. There's going to be a lot of things popping off here with Pub Sports Radio. So you guys have come to the right spot for valuable content and winning sports picks. Of course, all we can do is try, but we give you guys our best bets and we ask for absolutely nothing else. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And let's see my guy, Joe T. Of course, he's the first guy in the chat. He's disciplined. He's committed. And he's giving you guys winners out there with those first period overs. He says, let's get the cash. 2-0 sweep for my guy, Joe T. Yesterday, he's going right back at it with the Bruins Leafs. First period over 1.5. I'm okay with that look. I kind of was looking at that game and thinking early scoring, tight game, late. So we'll see how that works out. Brian Watson's in the house. What up, Brian? Says no clue on the Bruins side, but first period over, it looks good. And there's our guy, Juggler 23. You know he comes in there, gives you guys the steam, the wise guy information and trends and analytics to go with it. That's what makes it so much fun here. Everybody's chipping in with their hard work and just trying to help everybody win. And Juggler 23 is laying it out there for us right now. He says, Game 6s are road domination. Road teams in NBA first round Game 6s are 26-13. They're 29-10 against the spread. That's a 74.4% win percentage in the last 11 seasons. He's got the Knicks straight up equals F the points for our guy, Juggler 23. There's my guy, Winner's Circle, says, hey, yo, Nationals, Guardians, Sixers, money line, Embiid over 30.5 points out there. That sounds like a nice little parlay. Juggler 23 says, I'm also going with the Bucks, but for much less. Justin McKelvey's in the house, says, what's good? What's good, Justin? Winner's Circle says, like the Bucks as well. Troy says, is Tyrese in? I believe he is. We will update. We will look at that when we talked about that NBA game, Troy. You know, interesting. I appreciate you digging in to the database earlier today, kind of just helping me clarify and quantify that 8 to 7.5 move. That's exactly what we were talking about. Felt like that was just that's where you're just chasing and trapping, and then you're just SOL when those numbers happen. So we definitely want to be mindful of those as we move forward in Major League Baseball season. And I got another stat to share with you guys here. Let me go through the rest of this. I see my guy, Wine Time, my brother from another mother. I hope you're doing well, my guy. Welcome to married life. I hope it's going as well as you thought it would. Ken Wood says, what's up, Mike? And it's easy. I laugh at that 9 times because I'm not a married guy. So who am I to welcome anybody to being married? but shout out to you, Wine Time Sports. It's always great to see you. He says, pimping ain't easy. Kenny Wood in the house. Jeffrey Dahmer, we got a new guest in the house. Says, I'm new to sports betting. Does anyone have tips for someone new? The End says, yeah, change that name. AOD says, let's go. Jay Peasy's in the house there. Jay Peasy, let's get that cash, my guy. Wine Time says he's on the Knicks +3. And J Stone 9 says, Boston money line. Max Domi over 2.5 shots on goal. Brad first goal. Brad anytime goal boosted. I think it's Marchand, right? Brad Marchand. Boosted to +245, 1.5 units here to fucking slay, says our guy. J Stone 9 out there. Justin says, we didn't lose Sabino and Kogi Camp. My UFC nemesis out there says, Money Mike, let's get this spread. What's up, Kogi Cam? It's great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you got your studying in for the UFC because I'm coming back with a vengeance this weekend. I'm ready. No 2-time champs there for you, my guy. Let's go. Justin McCalvey says, the Rangers over 4.5 team total cash stacks play of the day. Man, that Rangers -1.5 was a great, glorious spot as well. Yeah, let's go. I got all kinds of messages coming in. You guys are great. Jay Peasy getting it done. Joey Alvarado, Chicago's finest in the house. Andrew G. Kelsey, you are valuable content, Mike. Yeah, I appreciate that, Kelsey. Thank you. So smash that like button. Let's go out there. Jay Stone 9 says, ice skated by with a victory with DraftKings over to runs token Cubbies. Can't believe they lost that game, though. Extras, man. And then I was looking. I had a parlay tied with those guys in there, and I was looking at you guys don't want to hear my whole. Look, I cashed. It won. I thought about cashing out. I didn't cash out. Good. Mostly I didn't cash out because I went to grab some lunch, and when I came back to cash out, they had already scored. It was 6-5, and I was MFing myself for not taking advantage. And hell, it worked out the way it worked out, so it's all good. Let's go. I see Nasty Nate, Mr. Trifecta up in the house out there, says Bruins Red Sox parlay. Huh? Bruins Red Sox smash for our guy Nasty Nate. Earl Sports in the house says the Bruins smash, and Bo Jackson thinks the Guardians are going to smash. So we got a smash fest going on right there. Perky Bump says he's number 36. Make sure you hit it. Big night. Let's keep it up. Pimp Slap the man. Appreciate you. And Big Worm says, no lie, Mikey Money Show is the best on YouTube. We need an early show, bro. Early show, man. It's tough. I sit up drinking all night with you guys, live streaming and betting. It's hard to get up and start cracking away, but I appreciate that, Big Worm. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us, kicking back, trying to get that cash tonight. Perky Bump says Knicks +3 per the Pimp Slap, always tailing. Did I say Knicks +3? I don't know if I said Knicks +3. I'm pretty sure I didn't say Knicks +3. I might have shared a stat that said Knicks +3. I'm pretty sure I didn't say Knicks +3. Let's go, though. Let's get after it, you guys. Josh Lower 34 says Bruins money line. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I just don't remember saying it. I don't think so. Jay Stone 9 says, Domi, 14 shots last 5 games. He's a baller and will show up even with Swayman stands on his head over 2.5. Those are the kind of numbers you want to take advantage of, Jay Stone. Shout out to you for checking that out. And Barney says, eat up them bookies, Jeffy. Kelsey says, did that Marchand guy really lick someone's face? He's done that before. He's definitely he's a face licker. Seems like he might be a gentle lover. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. I just want to think about the way the stick sounds when it cracks him in the head for licking some other dude's face. But anyhow, Phil the Kill says that Nats pick wasn't easy, but we cashed. It wasn't easy. It was 1-0 right to the end. That thing was a sweat fest out there. And they just kept getting out of jams yesterday. It was a lot of fun. So I see my guy Nick in the house there. Earl Sports says Lindor is back. Untouchable Jay says, what up, boys? And Kooky Cam says, telling you, pimp, I'm coming for it. You want the noise? You want the noise brought on you? The end likes the Sixers money line and the Bucks plus 385. Perky says, I thought you did earlier. I'm off then. Haha, my bad. I did share a trend in Jimmy the Bag's chat about that. So you guys know every so often, like to share educational opportunities when we get them. You know, we talked about this 2+ token and the value of taking the road dog in those spots because of the fact that they lose that 2-run lead more than the other side of things, 25% to 15% or 26% to 15% now, whatever those numbers happen to be the last couple of seasons. This is important news. The Scotty Foster effect. Scotty Foster, Mr. Extender. Don't buy the hype. Do not buy the Scotty Foster hype. When he works at game 6 and the team is up 3-2, they bring him in because they want to extend the series, right? Wrong. Teams that are up 3-2 in a game 6 are 16-5 overall. They're 14-7 against the spread. Higher closing rates than any other official out there. Most of these guys are just around 50%, but when Scotty Foster goes in there, they're shooting well over the number. Do not believe anybody. If they tell you Scotty Foster is the extender, you tell them they're full of shit. And you can tell them I said so, and they could slide up in my DMs, and I'll share that number with them too. Educational opportunity. It blew my mind when I saw it. I looked at the detail, I looked at the games. I said, okay, I got to have the data. All right? Everyone believes that Scotty Foster is the extender. Chris Paul, that's a true story. You don't like Chris Paul. There's definitely, what is he? Oh, Chris Paul's 0-20 or something like that against the guy. But Scotty Foster, don't believe the hype. Game 6s where you bring them in to extend the series. The team that's up 16-5, 14-7 overall against the spread. That will do it for today's educational moment. Thought that was important to clarify with everybody because I hear it all the time. Oh, it's Scotty Foster. It's Scotty Foster's in. Oh, Scotty Foster's in. That doesn't mean shit. It doesn't, unless it's Chris Paul. Chris Paul, one exception, Scotty Foster rule. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let's go through a quick recap, and then let's get after today's show. We got a lot of goods to get into. We got some props, we got some sides, we got some totals. I thought it was interesting, the Scotty Foster news, because it's contrary to what you certainly would expect. But tell you what I expected was a big night last night, and we certainly delivered 12-3 on the day. 12-3. We kicked ass. We took names, and we're just getting started here in Major League Baseball. You guys have gotten a taste for the way that I like to go about attacking these cards here, where we can take advantage and double dip. We certainly want to do just that. What did we do? We beat up the baseball card. The only spot we didn't get in baseball was the Walker RBI. That was a plus 145. Our Yankees in our under 8.5 plus 340 cashed. Our Yankees plus 130 cashed. Our Cubs minus 120 cashed. Our Shota to get the win. It was sweaty, but it cashed a plus 165. We talked about sweating out that Nationals game. It was sweaty, but we got a plus 160. And then the Dodgers under 9. Sweaty, but we got that one done as well. And then the Miami parlay with Boston. Right, we talked about those trends with those two teams. We parlayed the two of them together. It wasn't matter anybody that wanted to get the -1. I think it doesn't matter how you played those two teams, laid the juice or not. Those were the spots to go out there and execute there. Miami and Boston plus 185 cash. We took it in the chin in hockey. We lost Vegas. We lost the Kings. Expected one of the two road teams to be able to get the job done. Did not happen for us. So Edmonton, just a dominant team. You know, a tight game, but it is what it is. We'll move forward, and then we look at the NBA. We went 3-2 in the NBA last night. You know, we got the Miami under, the full game under, with the hook, the 202.5. We did not get the first half under. I was surprised at that. Under 107, cashed it, no problem. But the Dallas full game under 209 let us down. That's how you go 12-3. It was a big day. It was just a smidge under 10 units out there. And it was a lot of fun to get that cash. So I hope you guys made that money as well. JPZ in the house, giving the dono out there. Says, you heard it here first, mother pockets. Let's go, JPZ. Let's go, my guy, JPZ. Gets me fired up. I see JPZ in the chat. He's giving you guys his best efforts there, busting the tracks down there, letting everybody hear the intros, the best intros across the YouTube universe there by our guy, JPZ. And now he's giving donos out there. My guy, JPZ, I appreciate you, homie. I find myself have to heavily rehydrate. This playoff season has been profitable, but it has been drunkenly, I guess is the best way to say it. So the best way to get it. Junker23 says, I'm laying down 1,000-1 that Jeffrey Dahman's not a vegetarian. Mushy Justin says, popping off on some rum and Coke. My guy, get that rum and Coke. And Justin McKelvey says, hit the like button for the knowledge Mike M. given. Kelsey says 12-3, holy F-balls. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Went 3-0 for Kelsey. Nice job. Lots of sweating. There certainly was. There certainly was last night. Nasty Nate. Kelsey says, Mike, drink straight vodka. Not yet. We certainly will get to it. But let's get to this first game. Let's talk about this game. We've got it popping off here in about 22 minutes. I know our guy will be along here. He's probably just tidying up and getting his bets placed, but it's the Bucks and the Pacers. Big game. Leonard says 13 minutes till tip off. All right, we're right there, my guy. And we got a line that has moved significantly from 2.5-point dogs in the Pacers to 5.5-point, even 6-point favorites now. 66% of the bets, 49% of the cash on them Pacers. And then we see the totals moved up from 215.5 to 217.5. We got 83% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the over. And we have 2 points of correlated movement on this side of the card here. Let's see what we have in store. So nice to have T just rolling through the graphics as I start talking, but we'll make do. We will make do. There it is. I knew we had to trick up our sleeve to talk about this one. And you'll see on the right side, we are going to talk about both these NBA games before we jump into NHL and then the MLB. So let's look at this game. You know, we're sitting in a situation where we've got clearly elimination factors at hand. You guys know when I see these elimination games, I start thinking defense. Look at this game yesterday with that heat spot there. Second half, you know, lots of points in the first half. Once the Heat were officially skewered, things just shut down and came to a grinding halt, covered by the hook. But second half live bet opportunity was very much in play. I expect a similar opportunity today. You know, we look back at these two teams now. We see who is playing. I believe it was, did I see it was Giannis in? Let me just double check the injuries here. As we look at these injuries, where the hell is it? Where'd you go? I saw it. Now I don't see it. There it is. Giannis will be out, but Dame will be in. So very important to note there. First of all, we got to start this game off right off the hop talking about specifically that. And as we see this movement now, you know, Giannis being out was kind of expected. But guess who's in? Our guy making him at.
What up, Mikey? What's going on?
Doing, my guy. Trying to run it back after a glorious day.
Glorious day. Well, new day. New money. Let's get it.
Fuck yeah, C-Mac. We're talking Pacers, Bucks. We started with the NBA just because this game pops off at 6:40. I'll tell you exactly my angle of attack with this one here. I'm on these Pacers. I took the Pacers minus 5.5 now. I'm fine with it. Absolutely 100%. C-Mac, I definitely want to hear the breakdown, but I'm sure you've seen these numbers. Intersecting zeros. The Pacers are 13-0 when they're off a loss or a win up to 9 points. If they're favorites or small dogs the previous game. Essentially, the situation that we've fallen into based on losing that last game. On the other hand, the Bucks are 0-22 as a dog or a small favorite. Off a win or single-digit loss as a dog. So this trend almost applies to both teams, but in flip-flop varieties here. 13-0 Pacers favorite. 0-22 Bucks side of things, and it's the margin of victory. It's the commanding margin of victory, showing that they're covering the spread by almost 14 points, C-Mac. Situation.
Yeah. I get and the biggest thing in the 2 wins for the Bucks is I don't know how much it's their defense. Pacers just shot it horrible. You go back to the box, which I always do with all these games. They were even worse, in that game 1 when the Bucks beat them. Yeah, so that's what I thought. Dame's in, Giannis out, Halliburton's in. I thought he would go. Everything's good there that I just heard. One thing I have a problem, and it's come through though in the 3 wins, if you like the Pacers, is they've gotten to 120. This team total is 111. I don't know why you fuck around and mess around with laying 6 points, just in case the Bucks hang around, because this is do or die, now. Right. So they could hang a little bit in this one. So I think you just look at their team total and take that over in this game. 111. Like I said, off a bad shooting, I think they shoot it well. Ever since Halliburton, now it's the back, but he kind of tweaked his hamstring I've been talking about. He just hasn't been the same. Since early on in the year when he was pain-free, playing his best basketball. So he's kind of hobbled out there. I want to go through all these games in the props. I think Miles Turner, one thing, he's shooting up 10 threes a game just about, Mikey. And 3, 4, 7. Last game he went 1 for 4. 2.5, but it's plus 150. So I think you look at Miles Turner if you like the prop, and it's one and you like the Pacers. I don't know what we get. It's do or die. It's basketball here, NBA, and this Bucks team though. Both these teams, I don't trust the defense. This is just why I would go team total. And I wouldn't mess with laying the points. Even though when they've scored 120, they cover all 3 of these by this number pretty easily, right? These games with 13. One of them, the Bucks covered that OT game. Sorry. And the other one, 125, 108. But they easily got over that number. So that's what I'd be on here. Team total, 111 over Pacers.
So I'm adding in there the under 217.5 as well. I think to your question there about the team total versus the minus 5.5, I think it's the Bucks that kind of don't show up tonight. I see some guys talking about Dame being the decoy. The Bucks are 18-1-2 to the under, playing a team that they beat as a dog the last time with a total under 221. So 18-1-2 to the under. They won the last time as a dog, and they've got a low number here under 221 this time around. They're going under by 13 points. It's the Bucks that aren't delivering their end of the bargain in those spots is kind of what led me to that 5.5 spot, but the 217.5 on the total. A couple things that I looked at with this game. You're talking about the props. I love the Miles Turner looks out there, and of course at plus money. The guy that's been the big question mark for me is Pascal Siakam. He's been non-existent like the last 3 games. He started the series off. He had 36 points. He had 37 points. He's combined for 42 points the last 3 games collectively here. I think he needs to have a step-up game. Maybe part of that's Halliburton and the variable that he is. He's had to kind of change the role player that he is out there. But his number started off at 22.5. It's moved up to 23.5 now. So, certainly not something I necessarily would jump on at this point. That 1 point in the prop game makes all the difference in the world. But the fact that it is moving up to me kind of correlates that we do see maybe he comes back to a little bit more form and rounds out there. The Pacers, as a big favorite of late, they're 7-0 against the spread when they're more than a 7-point favorite. So the ticking down of this line is a little bit of a factor in there too. But the other number I looked at was Bobby Portis. From a Bobby Portis perspective, I'm not a big under in the rebounds game situation, but I just thought this was an opportunity, especially with Turner and Siakam. Siakam in the rebounding machine that he is, he was just an autoplay for us a ton of times throughout the regular season here. There's a lot of hands that have to get on that ball. And I just don't know that, when we see a Bobby Portis spot, that he's going to be one of those hands that gets on there. Under 12.5 is juiced to the under. He's got 11 or fewer rebounds in 4 of the last 5 games he's played out there as well. So if you're looking for a little under in a rebound action there, Bobby Portis, certainly the under 12.5, minus 120. But I'm on the side in the total. I'm going double dipper here. Minus 5.5, under 217. C-Mac's giving some endorsement to the Pacers team total as well. C-Mac, what was the number on that team total?
111, minus 110. Yeah, I thought I said it, Nate. So this series, 3 for 9, 3 for 6, 4 for 10, 7 of 9. And in the last game, he finally didn't get it. He was 1 for 4, was Miles Turner. So, I just think it's a nice plus money spot to get Portis. He's got to be huge. He was huge with no Dame that last game, and he's been okay. I mean, he's got to step up. He's got to play a ton of minutes. But I want nothing with these player props. As much as I play in the regular season, in the playoffs, I want to be on certain guys at certain time. You know what I mean? And we'll get to the next game where Billy did a great job yesterday, but there's not a ton of guys off the bench on these teams. Yeah. I mean, they're playing just a couple guys, a couple minutes, and that's it. They're not very deep. So it's kind of that big thing. You go to the star, I think, or in some of these you stay off.
We got Kelly V in the house. What up, Kelly? He says first 2 games, Siakam great, 36 points, 10+ boards. Then don't know what happened. Then it was the variable with everybody stepping out. He had to change his roles. Perky says official under 218.5. He bought the points. Thank you for the look, boys. Dustin in the house. What up, Dustin? Says, did you end up playing that both teams to score last night in the hockey game in that first period? My guy giving out that plus 165. Kelsey says, nasty Nate, Mr. Trifecta Celtics will win it all. And Joe T says, I'm on the Pacers team total over, also C-Mac. Running it in good company. I'll tell you another spot that I looked at. I'm not going to give this out official. It's more of a little bit of a dart throw for me. But as far as bands, I had to look at the bands. When I looked at the numbers in this game particularly, the average margins there, when you look at those 2 teams where I talked about the intersecting zeros, both of those margins were sitting around a 14. So 13.8, I think, was one, and the other one was like 14.1. Just a little simple math. This was earlier when the line was sitting there around 4s. We take the 5.5, we do a 14 on top of that. That's 19.5 points. I just looked at some banding. If that's the average number that we're seeing over the NBA history in those spots, I looked to see what that looked like. The average win margins out there was 14 to 16. Let me double check. I mean, I was just going for it. I just looked at the most number I could take on the book was like minus 12.5. I think this is a Pacers beat the shit out of these boys spot, but I could certainly be wrong. I've been wrong before. 14 to 16 was plus 1,200. 17 to 20 was plus 1,200. What's interesting about this spot, though, that I wanted to kind of comment on was I looked at the band, the 2 lowest bands that were out there. 3 to 6 points was like plus 500, and then 20 plus points or 21 plus points was plus 550, I think. So the second lowest band that was out there in terms of value. Not that that means anything other than the bookies were saying this game could be a blow the fuck out situation out there. And I'm on it. I'm jumping in. I like the way we're attacking it with the team total points. Kelsey says, remember I said Celtics minus 27. I do remember. We were talking about that on the live stream last night. Somebody had brought it up and said, who was it that said Celtics minus 27? I said it was Kelsey. Kelsey came in there dropping a little 27 action on there. I hope you played it. That had to pay handsomely. Let's move on, C-Mac. We've got one more basketball game to talk about. It's the big one. It's a weird schedule from a timing perspective here, but it is 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's the New York Knicks rolling into Philadelphia. The 76ers opened up as 2.5-point favorites. They're now 3s and 3.5s out there. 42% of the bets and 61% of the cash on the Sixers. The line's kind of moved, right? I mean, we see maybe the total of a point. You're going to want to line shop depending on the side you're looking at there. It's the total on the under that we're seeing movement on. It's gone from 202.5 down to 201.5. We have 39% of the bets, 97% of the cash on the over. Yet this number's starting to come on down the line. C-Mac, I'll volley to you here to start this thing off first for us. Tell us what you think about this game here. Sixers, I know they just had to buy a block of tickets so that the New York Knicks fans wouldn't travel on down the line and take over the stadium here. It's a big one. It's do or die. These Sixers coming off that big upset there in the Garden. Do they shut them down at Wells Fargo, or are we going to be set up for a Game 7 up there in Madison Square Garden? What do you think?
I know. Well, just you talked about the Scott Foster. Of course, the NBA wants to go to a Game 7.
What did you think about that Scott Foster stat there? Everybody believes he's the extender, but the data shows it's actually the opposite.
I think the guy's nuts. So, and he shouldn't be officiating NBA games. Kind of like Angel Hernandez shouldn't be behind the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's there tonight. This was tough. I had the under at the Sixers last game. I think this game's tight. So I just don't have enough love here with the Knicks in Philly to take them with the 3, because I do think this game is close. Just a wild ending. I had to go back and watch it because we were live there with Maxey. It looks like he traveled the 4-point play.
4 points, right?
I thought they were dead in the water last game. This first half under was a thought for me here, Mikey. I just got to stay off. It's at 104, right around there. I think there's more points. You know, just because OT that game went over, and the only other game was the game before it did stay under, full game, and the rest did go over. So I'm going to stay off the first half under as much as I thought this was a look. You know, that's what I want to go to in these games, and I think there's a little bit of value. It's kind of like they're dropping this down. This is what happens in games in the NBA as the playoffs go on. This is 202, right around here, the full game. And it was kind of like Mavs yesterday. I need certain points that I have with everything in here. It was 107. The game was 104. This was 106, 107. I'd be all over it and probably be on it. But I'm off of that. I think if you look at props in this game, we talked about last game, both these teams have nobody off the bench. So it's like, it seems like the starting 5 just plays about the whole fucking game. They don't have anybody that comes off when I was going through everything. How can you not? The both home games, though, for Maxey, just stayed under this number. It's a little bit of a sucker bet. His points, 26.5, minus 105 is the best number I found. And he had 25 and 23. But if they win tonight, he's got to be the guy. Embiid's limping around, bitching like normal, grabbing people, doing his old shenanigans. Like Maxey, I think, has to have 30 in this game and come up big. It just seems like that's just a little bit of a bait. I'm staring at this. We have a little bit of time, but I want to take his points over in this one. And with the Sixers at home, the role players, we talked about this last week, Mike, they got to be better. Harris was better. Last game, he finally got some threes.
Finally something, right.
Something. Oubre has been all right. That's basically what he's got to do. And he said, these guys are going to play 40 minutes. So it's like after Maxey and Embiid, like their points are 11.5. Both of them could get over, at least one of them, if you take their props in this one. Because it's like nobody else is really going to play. Lowry had nothing last game, so maybe he could fucking contribute with his old ass. So that's it. Yeah, and on the other side, Hart, Brunson, they all play 50 minutes. OG. I think it's a good basketball game. I think it's an under, and I'm waiting on Maxey. I just haven't pulled the trigger. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm on. Well,
Knicks?
Yeah. So I'll paint the picture and let you guys know. I don't care what the trends say. I'm taking the Philly Sixers here. -3.
The Sixers,
This is a 9 p.m. game. That city's going to be fucking crazy. And it's going to be a hard place to play at overall. Now, they've let some leads slip. There's no doubt about that. They have not been able to hang on there. But
they've been pretty good early in these games.
I looked at the first half, but I just thought to myself, like, I think that in this case here, 1.5, they could very easily find themselves tied or just at 1. I didn't like the hook being involved in that first half spot. So I did take that first half under, though. I'm with you. That game was dead nuts under until the overtime situation.
Yeah, the last game. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to be involved with the 201.5. I got to fully admit it. You know, that does concern me. That's one of those spots. It's visually, it's such a low number. And because I want Philly to win this game, I need Philly to win this game. I had to jump in, but I did take the first half. I like the first half with the 104. In full disclosure and fairness out there to paint the picture for everybody on the other side, playoff favorites of less than 8.5 points are 0-10 against the spread when they won the last game as a dog. So that does fall into a play on the Knicks situation right now. The favorites have lost outright 8 times in those spots. Just to fully paint the picture and give you guys some honest data behind it. But it's about what I'm betting, and I'm on them Philly -3. I love that Maxey look as well. Maxey's playing the minutes. You talked about it. He's 41 or more minutes every single game this season. He's got 3 games this postseason. He's got 3 games against these Knickerbockers where he's gone 33 points or more. He's averaging 7 assists per game as well. So the Knicks just don't have the formula to be able to put this guy on ice. And he does have to have that big step-up opportunity. He's shooting a ton, too. I mean, he's got 21 or more field goals every game this series. The guy's just out there, and he's making them. I mean, he's accurate, too. So
he's got it. I think you take it. Or if you want to look at – but usually when he's hit that, he gets the points and assists because that's what I looked at, too, the 33.5. They've kind of gone – he hasn't had one of those games where 23 and, like, 12 assists that got him over this 33.5. In those two games, but the points were just right there. He just didn't get there. This 26.5. I think he's got to be the guy. He's going to shoot a ton. I think he scores 30. Yeah.
And when I saw his assist number the way it was there, I thought to myself, I start thinking, is this the double-double opportunity too? It's a plus 490 double-double for this guy over there on FanDuel. I don't know if I'll pull the trigger on that, but I think he gets out there and gets a ton of points. I wouldn't be mad if anybody wanted to up the ante there as well. FanDuel has 30-plus points at plus 180 for Maxey. His line's set between 26.5 and 27.5, and he's gone over 33 3 games. So, 30 at plus 180 seems like that's some pretty damn good money too. But still the jury's out for me on that. Philly -3 in the first half, under 104. And C-Mac, it sounds like you're thinking first half under and a little Maxey points action.
Yeah, I don't know if I get here on the under, but yeah, I think I'm going to move on Maxey. Weird that this game's later. It's strange.
Given that these Milwaukee Bucks seems like that would have been the natural spot there, the Pacers Bucks to start at 9:00, right? Because it's 8:00 their time. So it is what it is.
Two East teams. I think it's just two East teams they had. One of them had to go in this one, and then like I mentioned, that's it. So McBride and Robinson are the only guys coming off the bench. He's a thought. McBride's been decent. His points are like 8.5, 9.5. I don't know. I don't really want it. I just wanted to throw that out there.
I see our guy Troy says, wait, Mike M, say that trend again. Was that the playoff one there? The playoff favorites of less than 8.5 points. Less than 8.5 point favorite. 0-10 against the spread when they won their last game as a dog. So basically coming back off that dog win, smaller favorite, not a big double-digit blowout favorite. Those are bad spots for them boys to be in. They've lost 8 of them in a row as well. So I could give you guys more about the reason why the Knicks are going to win, but I'm not going to because I think the Sixers are going to win. So how about that, C-Mac? That's what happens. I can
tell me this is not a homer bet.
I opened it up saying it was a homer bet. And then I said, just to be all fairness, I'm going to give you guys the picture on the other side as well. You know what? Call me a homer. The Knicks are 9-0 against the spread off a loss since March of this year as well. So, lots of reason to love them Knicks. I'm not doing it, though. For me, it's better off when my teams get out of the playoffs so I can come back at things with an unbiased look. But I'll take Philly -3. I'll take the first half under 104. I'm leaning to that Maxey in some facets. We'll just see if it's going to be, do I go with the double-double? Do I go with the 30-plus? I don't know. Feel like there's some money to be made in some of those spots here tonight in elimination night. But C-Mac, let's go over and what do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about baseball or you want to talk about the NHL? Dealer's choice.
Doesn't matter.
All right, let's pop off some Major League Baseball. Cleveland and Houston. The last 2 days for me in Major League Baseball have been unfreaking believable. It's been a lot.
Yeah, they've been good for me too.
Man, today was something else. Yesterday was unbelievable as well. We're seeing the board very clearly. Now we've got this Guardians Astros spot. Weird line movement in this one. 77% of the bets, only 56% of the cash on the Astros. Now the line has dropped down 9 cents for the Astros from -134 to -125. But it's also gone up 2 cents on the Guardian side of things. I feel like I owe it to Tito on the screen out there. So we've gone from +114 to +116. As far as the total's concerned, it's been sitting at 9 all day. 52% of the bets, 50% of the cash on the over. No a movement here. 33,500 tickets. And we look at this one here, kind of the exact opposites. We got a 20-10 Cleveland Guardians. We got a 10-20 Houston Astros. Of course, we saw, that the Guardians blew that big lead 2 games back, the first game of the series. It was a big Astros lead, 10-9, coming off the Mexico City games. Cleveland, on the other hand, fought. They were gritty. They ground their way into a 3-2 victory yesterday. Now we look at the bump, and we've got Eric Getty with a 10.97. That guy's bad. On the other side of things, we got Allen going with a 5.46. That's not much better, but he is getting run support. 3-1 on the season. He's managed to accumulate 3 victories in this one. What do you think about this game, C-Mac? It's an 8-10 start, so plenty of time. Nice little battle here between these two teams. How do you think this one breaks down?
Yeah, Kelsey, what's up? No, I'm in Vegas now. Vegas. Yeah, let's get to it. Logan Allen, I mean, he is kind of what he is. He's gotten the run support, though, he talked about. Can you trust the Astros to get some runs off him? Lefty. This seems like, and lately, even with the 3-run record with ERA over 5, he seems to be giving up 4. The Astros couldn't do nothing yesterday. And then double played in the game. I didn't even get Altuve up, Mikey, in that spot. God damn, that pissed me off in that one. But the Guardians winning baseball games. How can you bet this Astros team with Eric Getty on the mound on the other side? This kid's been rushed up to the big leagues. It's just with the injuries they've had, and they brought down JP France to the minors. He has been good. Now the 2 road starts in between the 3 was at home against Atlanta. He went 4 and only gave up 2. Can he do that again? I don't know. The walks aren't good. He's only going 3 innings and giving up 2-3 walks in all his starts. But he's shown flashes down the minors. He's just not ready. And I think he could get touched up a little bit in this one. On the side, again, like yesterday, I think this is Guardians. It's hard to I know Logan's on the mound. He might get hit, but Eric Getty's just been awful. A couple props here. We mentioned your hatred for Jose Ramirez. Didn't get anything done yesterday. Had guys on. He still has 24 RBIs. And this Guardians team is going to hit a lull because I don't think this lineup's very good, top to bottom. But we know how great he is. His RBI, though, is down to 135. That's the best number, Mikey. But I think he cashes it today because the one that I'm on in this here is the best number I got. I think it was plus 118. Stephen Kwan, Michelle Kwan.
I like it.
I don't know. Leadoff spot. He's hitting 360, 7-game hitting streak. He's got 11 ribbies, 3 stolen bases. This guy's just been on fire. He's 26 years old. We all know he's a pretty good hitter. Doesn't have a whole lot of jack. But over 1.5 total bases, Stephen Kwan. I'm on it here.
I like it. I like the look. I like the play. Seems like a nice spot there. Hits, runs, RBIs over 2.5 at plus 125. They're expecting that guy to get some motor and get some contact on that ball today as well. So I'm a big fan, especially against Spencer Spaghetti there. Probably gets himself up real good. You know who I like here. There's I think when I see this game, I think runs. I'm not a big fan that the number hasn't moved past 9, but neither of these pitchers has shown elite status at this point. Logan Allen's got a 5.46 ERA. He's a 2.73 against left-handed hitters. And who do we got? My guy, you already know I'm a sucker for Kyle Tucker. 298 on the season. He's got 8 home runs. That's good enough to be tied for 5th in Major League Baseball. A 9.78 OPS is 9th in baseball. And the guy's just beating up. His average goes up to 341 when he's out there against lefties. He's up to 340 at home. All conditions to me point. And to your question about how do you go in and take this Houston Astros spot, I think these bats have gotten themselves. Now, Spencer Spaghetti there is going to definitely be the limp noodle floating around the clubhouse here. But nonetheless, I got myself some Tucker RBI action. It was plus 135. Let me just take a look and see what we're at right now.
Real quick, before you get it, guy's playing better. I thought he had a down season, played more games, had less homers. Jeremy Pena, small sample size off Logan. He is 3 for 3. And he's been pretty good. He's swinging a decent bat of late, is Jeremy Pena. Just wanted to put that out there. Like his 1.5, I think, is right around plus 120, RBI plus 165. I don't know if I'm ready to go Pena there, Mikey, with the RBI, but he's been better. 3 for 3 off.
You know, there's a few I could get involved with today here. I look at Dubon as one of those other guys too. He's kind of been sneaky and quiet, but last year he had great contact rates last year. And, you know, at the end of the day, for me, I like this Gimme Tucker. and I'm going to go for it. We've had a lot of success thus far with these opportunities. I'm going to jump back to it. We've got a total that's been sitting at 9. Don't like to see that it hasn't been moving, but the same game parlay action is in play out there right now. We've got the Houston Astros. The over 8.5 is plus 210. I think that the Houston Astros make contact here. I don't know. I need Spencer Spaghetti not to go out there and throw it up all over the place. That's what I need. It's just to get through. Even get through 4 innings for me is fine, and let's close it out. But let's do some gambling here. I like Tucker to get the contact at plus 135, and then at the end of the day, if that hits and we don't get this Astros victory, then we'll still be up and we'll still be profitable. But at 210 for me, all the numbers indicate that this game goes over and that it's Houston pulls it out. Now,
what happens here? This has come down a half a run, the total, basically, right? Because this is normally, these pitchers are just awful here, right? They score a ton of runs game 1, nothing yesterday. I mean, at times it needs to get brought up as he's got to put yesterday kind of in the rearview mirror when we look at these games. But this is the normal spot where we're here on Thursdays. Well, just a little bit. I mean, with props, it's different. We got to look at that, how guys are hitting.
Yeah.
Now, some towards the game, that's what I mean. It's just, you got to look at it a little different. This is the under. Thursday, the single game that we bet so often here. You know what I mean? Like under. But with these pitchers, I can't do it. But this is like normally, Wednesday, Thursday night baseball, these standalone games, the under's just been great. And this is a 9. I'm not going to bet it because I think there could be runs. These pitchers have been awful. I just want to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, this 9 is juiced to the under as well. So all that money coming in on it, and it hasn't moved. What I did like about that parlay, though, is that it's dropped to 8.5. So I'm getting myself out of push territory. A 4-1 win will suck. I was going to go with the Astros. The money line's starting to move back up on the Astros as well. But I figured, you know what? Give me the 2 shot there. I'm going to take the RBI. I'm going to take the Astros in the over. It's probably more gambling than investing in that particular game, but it's the standalone spot. It's the only game that's there. You're absolutely right, C-Mac, about those unders. It's kind of that anything could happen with these 2 pitchers, but I think the big game that's going to be, mode of the night here, it'll be on my TV. We switch gears. We move over. We lace the skates up, and we try to tackle this Boston-Toronto series right now. Dead to rights right now. This Toronto Maple Leafs team here, this is an elimination game as well. Boston leads the series 3-2, having taken both games already in Toronto. The conversation of the card last game out was specifically what's going on with Austin Matthews. He's sick and he doesn't play. Now they're coming back in. He's sick again. He's not playing, or he's still sick, I guess I should say. Not sick again, but look at the Bruins here trying to lock down shop here. They won them both in Toronto. They got snuck back home 2-1. We were on the Toronto side there, but I originally liked Toronto to get this job done, but there's too much gap here in what's going on with this Austin Matthews-led Toronto Maple Leafs team, C-Mac. I got to go with the Bruins here to close this thing down. Am I fucking crazy for thinking this minus 120 seems like a gift here with this Boston team?
I think it is, especially if we're going off anything. Yeah, Just, I'm on the total basis over 1.5. Quan had 2, though, the other day. I mean, he's a leadoff guy. Before that, a lot of zeros. He's had a couple of late. I mean, he's hitting great. He just needs a few guys on. But I'd rather just stick with that. But I don't mind the Ribby, the way they're playing. So is this the time maybe the Leafs can do something here? Like, no Austin Matthews. I'm just putting it out there. The star's gone. Like, you get the whole bullshit here that we all talk about. Big star not out there. I mean, Nylander is nowhere to be found. Is this guy just – what is he doing on the ice? Nothing. I mean, he has so much talent. He needs to step up big. There's just no way I could back the Leafs. I thought they played decent. And you were going at it here. Wall's in net. So he was good in that last game, the 27-28. But all year, up and down with him. It was kind of, he could get lit up. He stood on his head a few times. I don't know what we get. The series is pretty good, the last few to the under. The others, 3-2, 4-2, just were there. But Bruins, to me, better team in this one. Props, I'll hit up a prop. I think this is just too good, too much ice time. They're kind of interchangeable because line 1-2 with them. But DeBrusque, half a point, Mikey, plus 115. Give it to me, man. And he hasn't had one. He had 3 goals in the first 3 games and a bunch of points in those games. The last 2, he hasn't had anything. DeBrusk, over half point, plus 115. And maybe put it on the goal. I think it's around plus 260. But that number's too high there for the point. I'm on it. And I think the Bruins, I haven't bet that'd be my look. I don't know if I want to go the -1 route. This isn't crazy juice.
It's not.
With them. But, I mean, could we get the 3-2 win a little bit? I don't know. What'd you get the line earlier at? What'd you get the?
I got it at -120. I see there's a -124 out there right now, and then -130s. Things are creeping. I'll tell you what. This is what I say when it comes to some UFC fights, where I know a bunch of guys are trying to figure out, how do I take this guy that's a -140 favorite who should dominate this guy, and I'm going to turn it into a +200 because I'm going to take him to win by knockout in round 2. You know what? Just take your fucking cash. Be excited that you got the victory. It's a modest juice price situation, and that's how I wanted to attack this game here. We talked yesterday about, some of these things compound each other. So like day over day, the same kind of rules apply. Now, it didn't work out yesterday. There's no question. Those home teams were just that much more superior than those road components. But the road teams still have the margin, especially the favorites on the road in the playoffs the last couple of seasons. So it hasn't been just an automatic home team goes out there and dominates. You look at Wall, you talked about Wall and goal. His road home splits definitely show that he favors being on the road more so than being at home as well. And then last but not least, you got the Bruins. They've only lost 2 or more games in a row 7 times this season. So that trend there where the Boston doesn't lose 2 in a row or more, despite the fact that it didn't feel like it was as strong as it's been in years past, is still, I think, very much a play. First game, the star player goes out. We can fade him. We can take that team. It doesn't make a difference. And then it's the games after that you have to be concerned with there. And this is one of those situations. So I like this Bruins team. I think the price is right now. And, I think we're getting ourselves a really good opportunity here. You want to get cute? You want to take the -1.5s? I see Untouchable Jay says -1.5 at +200. Not mad at that at all. I mean, -125 on DraftKings right now to me just seems like why mess around? But I've also got 8+ money plays on the card. So it's easy for me to say that knowing that, this is one of those spots I need to get the win. And I don't want to fuck around with the 1 because what am I doing? Saving the 20 cents of juice. And I got an even money play for the, I don't know what the -1 is. I didn't look at it, but just seems to me like this is that opportunity. Let's get our win and let's move on to the next series here. Boston, I think, goes out there and shuts down Toronto tonight. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Should be a great
I don't know
game.
how the Leafs score. And they toughed it out. That was good. The win this last game to keep this going. Can they keep winning? Maybe 2-1, 3-2? I don't think so. I mean, they're going to have to play that style because I think if they try to open it up, they're going to get blown out. But I don't know. Hope for the Leafs if you're a Leafs fan, I guess.
I mean, this is it. It's do or die time. I just, like I said, that the fact that Boston surprised me with that second game that they won in Toronto, I expected that to be the letdown. And then no Austin Matthews gets into the equation and he's not in the morning skate. And that was the team. If he is truly sick, as long as it's not something like, some type of an STD. I mean, if it's a general illness, then in general, if he's sitting around the locker room, the other guys might be starting to get contagious as well and starting to catch that virus. So who knows if that's running rampant through that locker room now or not, but I think Boston, I think we take it. We move on. Kelsey says, Mikey said, take your fucking cash t-shirt. No, I think there's a whole line of last call clothing apparel that we are working on. So I think that's going to be a good one. I love the DeBrusk look as well. I think that's a solid opportunity out there from a goal scoring perspective. I mean, Brad Marchand's another guy there at +230. I see out there with BetMGM. We got ourselves a little bit yesterday with that going with the LA Kings and Kempe and Byfield, but that's okay. I think we run it back to it's going to be some fun to see what happens. So, C-Mac, that's it. We got a 4-game card. We managed to bring in 55 minutes. I was expecting us to be done in 20. Here we are. Show's over.
Well, no, we got these games in. We could go into these a little bit crazier and deeper, but games have already started, so we don't need to go too wildly.
Get your bets in and get that cash, C-Mac. We're rolling off a big day yesterday and want to bring it back today. Tell them what's going on. Big horse racing weekend. How are you going to get involved with the this weekend?
Yeah, shout out to everyone. My guy JPZ, as always. Dustin Kelsey, Michael for sure, my dude. Jeffrey Dahmer, just up in the chat. I love it. I'm gonna change my name to Ted Bundy. I like that. Eric is Bo Jackson, Nasty Nate, all you guys, Frank. Shout out to all you guys. Do us one favor, Justin. Hit the like button. We always say that. Shit. One thing you can do, right, Mikey?
That's right.
Forrest, hit the goddamn like button. Yeah, I got to get on the horses. We're glancing today. After this is lighter car day. I'm digging full in here tonight while these games go on. So it should be a ton of fun. I mean, if you don't love the Derby, I mean, you're not my friend. So we out here. I mean, I'm a gambler. Like, it's just, sorry. See ya. But I'll hit it up. So it's going to be a ton of fun this week. And DeBrusque, half a point plus 115. I'm on it. I'll have a little on the goal plus 260. I'm going to wait on the Bruins. I like it, Mikey. There. My guy Quan, 1.5. This guy's red hot. Leading the league in hitting. Spaghetti, Aaron Getty, Noodle Arm. I think we get it over 1.5, 118. God, I want Maxey here. I leaned that first half under we were talking about. I'll wait. I think I'm going to be on it, So shoot me a message. I think I'm going to bet it. Fuck it, I'm on it. All right, we can't wait. Everyone's here. I'm on it. Over 26.5. Don't fuck me up, Maxey. You'll be all summer till next year. Be on my shit list, my man. 26.5 over.
I like it. He goes in there and gives you guys a little last minute action to close it up for us. Going to be a lot of fun with these props tonight. Certainly a fun way to watch these games. There's a lot on the line for a lot of these teams, and there's certainly a lot on the line for us as well. C-Mac, I enjoy you coming in there, hanging out, my guy. We had a short card, but I think we maximized the value that can be extracted from that card. So you already hit him up in the chat. Kelson, Justin, the gang winners circle, Brian Watson, Lee Davis, Jeffrey Dahmer, the gang, and Dustin's out there. Michael Krypton. Oh, everybody showed up today, man. JPZ, you guys are awesome. We appreciate you guys each and every day coming by to hang out, see what we have to say, and try to get our heads and our asses aligned to cash in winning tickets. That's what it's all about. And you'll see us back here again tomorrow, 6 p.m. I'll be back here, Last Call Pub Sports Radio. We're going to have ourselves a fantastic weekend, getting all that cash. It starts tonight. Thursday's connected to Friday, and then we are smooth sailing, C-Mac. Stay pumping, baby.
Peace.